This broadcast is brought to you by All I Need to Know About Success, I Learned from Star Trek by author Glenn Henderson. To get your copy, go to glenntrekbook.com.
I have these dreams.
I'm here behind the scenes on Great Solar War, Space Command, new science fiction epic. We're going to bring you a behind the scenes coverage, a look at this amazing series created by Mark Zicree. Stay tuned. Check it out. Here we go. Here at the behind the scenes look of Space Command, Great Solar War. Joined here with actor Ethan McDowell. How's it going, man?
It's going very well. Thank you, Owen.
Yes, indeed. It's my pleasure to see you and be here. We haven't seen each other, I don't think, since the premiere. And we thought, well, next San Diego Comic-Con, I believe, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Your character says 20 years later. What do we expect? And what you're also in a higher rank now, I believe, is correct?
Yeah, climbing up the ranks. So now I'm a fleet commander. Back when we met before, I was just a lowly captain. Yeah, now here I am, of the Paladin. Yeah, so now I'm captaining the two-story Phoenix.
Oh, nice.
The Phoenix. So yeah, beautiful set, and it's neat to be back at it, man.
Cool. This iteration is the next chapter in the Space Command awesomeness. It's kind of like a solar war of sorts. What is like the cliff note? What to expect in this?
So for the Great Solar War, we're kind of in a situation where politics and the workers are kind of not quite lining up. So we're out there to try to patch everything together to make sure, like, okay, let's smooth this all out. And then it doesn't go so smooth. So we have to get into the action of it all.
This set is awesome. You've got a lot of brilliant sets, brilliant actors, and brilliant people. What is your favorite part of being a part of? You like sci-fi when you're growing up? What's your kind of favorite part of this? Being a part of this project and awesome.
For me, it's just I feel like a kid, man. It's just the idea of being on a spaceship, and like I grew up loving Predator, so you know what I mean. It's just that idea.
I don't have time to bleed.
Yeah, I ain't got time to bleed. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Right.
But yeah, just seeing that as a kid, and I think like, well, this is be the closest thing that we can. We get to fight aliens. We get to fly spaceships.
7-foot aliens, I believe, right?
Yeah, they're pretty tall. Yeah. But that's it, man. Just being able to have fun, be creative, and just use your imagination, man. I love it.
One of the things that I think was a defining factor for Lieutenant Borges when it comes to the storyline of what drives him was that in the first chapter, he is there present when Kemmer defies a direct order for the greater good. And I think that is, to me, is the fuel that then says to him, I want to become a very good agent and a good soldier and a good member of the fleet so that I can join Kemmer hopefully in the future and be part of that sort of inspirational way of commanding. And that's been sort of what's always underneath of all the choices that he makes. Of course, he's a little bit more on the comedy side a little. He can be a little lighter as well when it comes to like personality-wise, but I feel like that's also a little bit what gives that balance between the characters.
Very cool. Is this your first sci-fi, and how do you like being a part of this project?
It's been great. I think we've been at this for I started maybe like 10 years ago. I literally just saw Mark, the director. I spotted him in one of the places where I used to work, and I was like, I recognize that guy's face. He's from that video from that Kickstarter thing.
When he comes out and says, hi, Mark said the beautiful video about the presentation was awesome.
Yeah, and I remember he was coming to the restaurant where I was like a host, and I told him, like, hey, how's your space thing going? And he got excited, like, oh, you know the thing. So we started talking, and he said, if you want to audition, let me know. And I, like a few days later, they brought me in. I did that. I was just one scene extra for that first
Redemption, right?
For Redemption, and he just basically, they said, like, we really love what you did with your face, I guess, just the face, no lines, and we want to bring you for a full character for Forgiveness. And so I got to, that's when Borges became Borges, and the story has been going since then.
This project harkens back kind of like the old days of Space Patrol, Star Trek, all the goodies. What is the vision of this project, and what would you like to send to the fans?
When Star Trek debuted when I was 10, it was an inspiring message. It said that we can reach across boundaries and barriers and create a world worth living in, a future worth living in. And so I was seeing that so many of the science fiction shows were so dark, so dystopic, or just plain incompetently done, that I wanted to do something that would give people hope that there's possibility, that you can't give in to fear, you can't give in to divisiveness. People, I think, if they're given the possibility of hope, the possibility of joy, the possibility of a future that's good for their children and grandchildren, they'll seize upon it. But you need someone to send that message, and Star Trek did that for me. Many people became teachers and scientists and just created meaningful lives, and they understood that compassion was vital, and so that's what this is all about.
That's totally awesome. The project, you've got this new project, this next continuation called Great Solar War. Can you go a little bit about kind of like what that is and what's going on with it?
Yeah, well, Space Command consists of a 12-hour season, and so the first 2 hours was a redemption, and that set up the characters, set up the world, told a certain story. Then we had forgiveness after that, which was very much about, can you forgive people? Can people change? And then this one is the Great Solar War, which is an anti-war piece set on at the beginning of the Great Solar War, and so a lot of our characters are continuing through. So this episode takes place 20 years after the last one. So now some of the characters have grown children. For instance, Ed Kemmer, who was our captain in the first 4 hours of Space Command, he's now fleet commander. Oh, nice. And he has a grown son who's a weapons officer. So it's about their relationship. And Bill Mumi's character, he has a granddaughter who's this genius. She's 15 years old, but she's the inventor of the warp drive. And so it's
the faster than light drive.
Yes, because our characters don't have faster than light ships. They have fusion drive, and in the first episode they encountered an alien ship that was 5 miles long, that was the EMA ship that was faster than light, but Doug Jones' synthetics took that away. And so now this episode is about Jack trying to get it back and using a sort of a prototype, very dangerous warp drive to get to Doug and say, can we have the ship back to win our war? The next 2-hour episode is called Empire. It stars Armin Shimmerman as playing Bob Picardo's grandson. Nice. So and his daughter is played by Christina Moses, one of the leads in A Million Little Things. She played Sulu's daughter in the Star Trek New Voyages episode we did. And
by the way, it was amazing. You won an award for that, believe it?
Yeah, we were nominated for the Hugo and the Nebula and won the TV Guide Award, and I'm very proud of it. It's on my YouTube channel, Mr. Sci-Fi. People can watch it for free.
It's one of the best pieces I've ever seen. It was absolutely amazing movie.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it. And so that's Empire, and it continues the story. And then the final 2-hour story of the season is Harvester, in which all the plot lines that we've laid down over the course of the season come to fruition. So it's awesome. A big arcing story, yeah.
Well, wrapping up, what is the overall goal? What would you like to see with this project? What would you like to see?
Well, I'd love to see a major network or streamer pick up the entire season, because science fiction has legs in a way that a lot of other genres don't. Well, yeah, I mean, people are still watching the original Star Trek episodes, and very few people are watching Mannix, I think, or some of those other shows, good as they are. But Star Trek still has relevancy, and Farscape, and
Farscape's amazing,
and Ron Moore's BSG, Battlestar Galactica. I mean, science fiction lasts, and so I think just bringing the science fiction fan base, to what we're creating, I think they'll really love it. And so that's, and then we're doing the Showrunners Network, which is 5 more series that I'm creating with the creators of The Expanse and Farscape and Defiance and Alien Nation, and a new Serling show. I'm talking to Rod's daughters about it, and it just keeps going. It's just a dream come true. And we have our own studio, so we don't have to ask permission. We don't have to, listen to network executives who, maybe coming off a 3-martini lunch or whatever. But, I mean, they're probably not nowadays. Their obsession is, working out. But I mean, it's lovely to have the control that Rod Serling had, or that Gene Roddenberry had at the top of their form. It's like, people always say, well, why did this show go south? Or why did that show go south? Or it was such a great idea. It's because they're meddled with often by people who just don't get it, and we don't have that problem. I've grown up in the genre. I'm as much a science fiction fan as anybody, and I love what we're doing, and it's created from love rather than anything else. And I love sharing it with the world.
Absolutely awesome. I'm looking very forward to the Great Solar War and all the other goodies. Mark, I want to thank you for joining us. Owen on the behind-the-scenes set of Great Solar War, Space Command.